This episode is brought to you by TickPick, where smart fans buy and sell tickets. Check out TickPick for the best ticket prices for your next game, concert, or event, and use promo code PODCAST to save $10 off any order over $49. That's TickPick.com. Promo code PODCAST.
Welcome to the Fantasy Football Prophet Podcast, hosted by Craig Phillips and Jeff Torrey. Visit us at fantasyfootballprophet.com. And now your hosts, Craig and Jeff.
Welcome everyone to the Fantasy Football Prophet Podcast. I'm Craig Phillips, joined as always by Jeff Torrey. And today we're going to go over the wide receivers and then our favorite position in fantasy football, tight end. I know you're pumped, Jeff. That's why we save it for last, because it's by far the best.
Yeah, might as well just be a lottery at this point.
Oh, I hate that position. So we're going to probably spend about 3 minutes on tight ends this week after we go 1, 2, and 3. And
I can tell you all the players that might score a touchdown.
It'll be quick. Oh, God, I hate that position. If you heard last night, I listed, or whatever that was, listed some of the names of tight ends. It's terrible. And running back was pretty brutal yesterday. Wide receiver, maybe it's a little better, but I don't know what's going on this year, Jeff. It's just, I feel like this is week 6. I feel like we know less, I feel like, than we thought we did. Like, you think you know something one week and it changes the next, and it's just all over the board.
Yeah, I think being able to count on your players is turning into the bigger benefit of having someone like an Antonio Brown, where I feel like a lot of people are going to jump up there week to week and be in the top 10 out of one big play. But it's really, can you count on them week in and week out? That's what you're kind of paying for now.
And now we lose Beckham out of the ranks, so that's a sure thing is gone up there at the top. So that just makes it even uglier. And I'm going to have a couple play. Oh, man, I'm looking at my ranks right now. I just hate these so much. I hate them, Jeff. This is terrible.
I know. I mean, you got to roll with who is actually doing well and who is actually returning to glory. With my number 3 is a guy that's finally shooting back up there after a long hiatus.
DeAndre Hopkins?
It is.
He's my number 4. He's right up there. So, yeah, we'll
jump right in. Who's your top 3 then?
Well, my top is Antonio Brown. As always. It's always going to be Antonio Brown.
How dare you?
And so we haven't put a bet together yet, Jeff, again. We didn't put one together with quarterbacks or running backs. We're going to have to find one here. Because I beat you last week. Brown versus Evans.
Yes, you did.
So we'll find one here. Is Brown your number 1?
He is my number 1.
Okay, I was going to say, if he wasn't, I'm just going to stick with Antonio Brown.
Well, the fact that Roethlisberger can throw 5 picks to completely shut him down, Antonio Brown still went bananas. Why would I ever bet against him anymore?
Do you have Chris Hogan as a top 10 wide receiver?
Oh, I do.
Of course, I just knew you had Chris Hogan as a top 10.
Yeah, I mean, really, at this point, how can you not? Going against
I don't.
You don't have him as top 5?
No, not top 10.
Oh, I mean, not top 10. Really?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm the holdout on Chris Hogan.
Dude, I am
going to steadfastly stay on my Chris Hogan.
Dude, the guy has been...
He's number 11 for me.
Oh, I was going to say, the guy's been tremendous, and especially with the bye week. I'm trying to think. All right, I can see a scenario where he drops below, but the guy has been, he's number 3 overall wide receiver this year, and I understand he's been consistent, and he has, 5 touchdowns in 5 games?
This is where you have to, we talked about this when we did the recap. At this point, you have to rank Chris Hogan like he's going to score a touchdown, because that's what he does.
Yeah.
In the week he doesn't score a touchdown, that's the surprise. I think that is how you have to rank it. Yes, you might get burned one week, but I don't think you're going to get burned too badly. I think you're going to get something out of him where you still maybe on the worst week in standard, he still might get you 5 to 6. And that's the absolute worst case, I feel like.
Yeah, and I love the consistency of this guy. If you take out week 1 where they go against KC and Tom Brady really did get, kind of shut down for as far as Tom Brady goes, only 1 reception for 8 yards. All right. After that, from week 2 to week 5, he has anywhere from 4 to 8 catches and anywhere from 60 to pretty much 80 yards and at least 1 touchdown. I mean, that is unbelievable production. Even if he doesn't catch the touchdown, he doesn't hurt you. You have a decent game.
I really wish I could take back a couple weeks ago where I made a whole Chris Hogan thing and I ranked him like 30th. Said I'll never play Chris Hogan and you can't trust him and I can't play a guy who does like 4 catches. I don't know what I said anymore. I think I deleted the episode. At least I should. But no, I mean, you got to rank him. Like I kept him on my top 10 barely, but he's 11th. It's hard to say he's not going to score a touchdown, and he's playing in one of the best offenses in the league. So he's up there. All right, some other guys. You said Hopkins was your third. Mm-hmm. So does that mean that Evans is out of the top 3? Or is it Julio? Who's your number 2?
Jordy.
Oh, so they're both out of it. Makes sense.
Yeah.
But Jordy against Minnesota?
You know what?
We did talk about it the other day. Like, we don't care. It's Rodgers. It's
Packers.
I
mean, that's kind of where my head is at. And, I looked at this and no one really stops him. I mean, if I'm putting Hogan as number, the number, 5 guy, whatever I had him, number 5, and he's number 3 overall. Jordy is number 2. He has 6 touchdowns in 5, in 4 games, really. I mean, the guy's going unbelievable. I mean, it doesn't matter who he's playing against. He played against Seattle, had 80 yards and a touchdown. I mean, honestly, a mediocre game would be pretty much Dallas. I mean, if he went against Dallas, only 2 catches for 24 yards and a touchdown, and he got hurt.
It doesn't seem like it's serious, but...
Yeah, I mean, but that's what I'm saying. He got hurt. He didn't play the entire game. He still catches a touchdown. That's how much they use him in the red zone. I would have to look, almost like go out of my way to not rank him in the top 5.
Yep.
And where do you have him? Number 2?
5th.
Oh, dude, number 5?
Yeah.
I love how I just said top 5. And then
yeah, that's where he's going to be.
So run me down your top 5 then.
Brown, Julio, Evans, Hopkins, Jordy.
Okay. I mean, first of all, I love Julio and I love Evans, so I'm not going to go against
Are they your, then what? They are your 4 and 5-ish?
No, actually, Evans is my number 6.
I was going to, because it's a tough matchup.
Peterson,
shutting people down.
He's unbelievable. And he really is. And he's going against him, so he falls to number 6 for me.
And maybe I might need to change this on Evans. Actually, as we're talking about it, I'm going to talk this out and move it, because Evans, he's been okay. He hasn't been dominating.
No, but he's been good. Don't get me wrong.
No, I'm going to make that switch on the air here. He's going to move. It's not far, but I'm going to move him to 5th. I'm going to move him to 5th. I'm going to put Hopkins ahead of him. I'm going to put Jordy ahead of him. I'm going to keep Julio at 2. Hopkins, Evans, especially they might just throw Peterson on him all game, and it's going to be a tough one. I have a hard time putting him down further. It's still Mike Evans. He can still get a touchdown and make his day worthwhile. So I'm going to keep him up there. But yes, if you're hesitating about him, I understand. But you're starting him. You have him on your team.
Oh, yeah.
That's the thing. We can move him 1st or 2nd, 5th. It doesn't matter. Where we actually put him in here, in these top guys, you're starting all these guys. So,
without a doubt.
All right. So then he was 6th. Julio was
8th.
Man.
I mean, the truth is that Atlanta offense is, it's Julio.
And he's been slightly hurt. We'll hope after the bye.
Yeah.
He's back.
He's still in the top 10. Not that I think any less of Julio. And he probably would have jumped above some of these guys, but I have 2 New England guys in the top above him because they're going against the Jets.
Where is Hogan? What was
Hogan is number 5, and I actually have Cooks number 7 because Hogan has outplayed him all year, but Brandon Cooks is up and down. But if you ask me, Jets are you could definitely throw one big pass.
The 3-2 Jets.
Yeah, the playoff bound Jets.
Right. I put Cooks 8th. I actually put him ahead of Hogan. And I don't know why. I don't even like Brandon Cooks that much. I've been never a big Brandon Cooks guy. But he's sitting there at 8 for me. And he's 1 spot behind his old buddy Michael Thomas. Is 7th for me. Put Michael Thomas 7th. And actually, maybe he should be higher. Michael Thomas is my 7th. My 6th, Keenan Allen. I know he had a bad week. But I don't think Oakland's been very good. So I'm keeping Keenan. I think there's going to be a big week from Keenan Allen with a touchdown here. So Keenan Allen's my 6th. What did you do with your boy Keenan Allen?
Oh, Keenan Allen is on my love list right now. He's number 4.
See, I think it's a good week. It's a good matchup. So he's 6.
He hasn't been scoring touchdowns, and he's still putting up good numbers. He's gone over 100 yards twice already. I think Phillip Rivers is starting to play well.
Yeah.
I really love him against Oakland right now.
I do too. I think, don't worry about the down week last week. That happens to pretty much everybody. It's happened to Antonio Brown. It's happened to everybody. It's just... He's going to be fine. Let's see here. My number 9, T.Y. Hilton. He's had a couple good weeks with Brissett. I don't see why he can't keep doing it. And then I have Stephon Diggs number 10. He's going to be up and down too, but I think he's still a top 10 receiver. Who are the remainder of your top 10 we haven't talked about?
Who'd you say was number 9?
T.Y. Hilton.
Oh, okay. Well, the old man actually slips in there because he's been steady. Larry Fitzgerald.
He's my 12th.
Yeah, number 9.
He's solid.
And I have, like you, I have Stephon Diggs number 10. He just has the ability to put up big numbers.
He does.
And then I'll just go to 15. But T.Y. Hilton number 11. You already talked about him. Yep. Michael Thomas number 12. You already talked about him. Then I go Tyreek Hill, Devontae Adams, and I round it out with Adam Thielen.
I went Tyreek at 13 as well. I put him there. I put Demarius at 14. I still keep waiting for more from him. I don't know if it's going to happen. Maybe I'm just holding out hope on something that's not there, but he's 14 for me.
Wow, that is pretty high.
It is. And he's one of those guys that I just keep waiting on. You know what I mean? Maybe it's just too much of former reputation. You know what I mean? Old reputation. And so I keep him there, and yeah, I don't know. It is. I don't know. I'm trying to talk this one out in my head. Why do I keep him up there? Let's see. What has he done on the year? Not much. 6.7, 7.1, 9.8, and he had a terrible game against Oakland with 1.1. So I don't know. This is kind of the gut feeling pick. It's not based in what he's done. It's based in what I think he still could do. But we'll see. And then Golden Tate actually finds his way to number 15 for me this week, going against New Orleans. He's another guy who's going to have some good weeks. He's some bad weeks. You never know what to expect. But I think these wide receivers are so up and down in this area that it's hard to rank them. And Thielen, like you talked about, I put Thielen at 21.
Okay.
He's going to stick around there for me usually. And yeah, that's just... And, Adams you had as well. I put him at 19. It's just the Minnesota matchup is probably the only reason I dropped him a couple.
Yeah.
That's the only difference. Because I don't know...
I get that, but I do think that Rose is going to be on Jordy.
Yeah, exactly. And the problem is, I guess... I don't know who's gonna get the.
Yeah,
I think just overall I drop him a little bit. It's just I don't know why.
If I really exactly how the CB who is gonna cover, I feel like throw a lot of looks at him. If I knew that Jordy was gonna be covered by Rhodes the entire game, I feel like Devontae Adams would skyrocket up. I would almost switch him, but I think Jordy will get open. I don't think he's gonna be covered by him entire game because it's just they have too many weapons anyway, so they're gonna switch him out and run picks and all that good stuff. So. But man, I think Devontae Adams, especially after how much Aaron Rodgers looked for him in the red zone, he's up for another touchdown, another good week.
Where'd you put Alshon?
I have him number 18. He's just kind of hovering there. You know what I mean? He's a little scary because I feel like he hasn't gotten as much work as I thought he was going to do, but he's still doing pretty good.
What about the Carolina receivers?
Oh, man. So with that, I do have Kelvin Benjamin, number 20.
He's my number 20.
Okay, and I was going to say, if Cam keeps playing the way he is, he'll stay there. And as much as I hate myself for this, I have Devin Funchess at number 26.
I have him 22. And I think Greg Olsen not being there has really benefited Devin Funchess. And he's become a red zone target. And if he's a red zone target, these 7 catches for 50 to 70 yards, that's going to be perfectly fine. He throws that touchdown in there. And again, we've talked about this a lot coming up into the season, is these wide receivers around year 3 beginning to make a jump. And maybe that's what's happening with Devin Funchess. He's getting confidence now, and that's a big deal. If you start to get some confidence, your quarterback has confidence in you, that's going to change a lot of things for him. And he was a good wide receiver in college. He played for your favorite team. So
yeah. Well, you know what? I don't mind him this week because guess who beat him?
Oh, I shouldn't even bring this up.
Go green, baby.
Yeah, it's lucky. It's all the rain.
Another year, another victory. It's becoming pretty sweet.
But no, I think Funchess, there's something there.
Yeah, I think he's finally starting to put it together. And without Cam, he had no shot. But now that he's kind of, returning to pretty good form, we've seen Funchess actually has made some steps forward. And, it's good to see.
Is there anybody, before we get some other random players here, but is there anybody in this range, maybe the 15 to 30, let's say, 15 to 30 that stands out for you that maybe is new? Because to me, there really isn't.
15 and 30.
Yeah, to say 15 to 30. So everybody knew in the ranks.
Actually, yes. I kind of have 3, but obviously Funchess was new for me.
Yep.
But other than that, Will Fuller makes an appearance at number 29.
He's 30th for me.
And 30th, depending on how this shakes out, I know he's going against Denver and all that.
Sterling Shepard.
Yes,
he's 29th.
He's the only person there that they can throw it to.
Yeah, so I put Shepard 29th and Fuller 30th. So Shepard, there's nobody else. If he's healthy, it's health in Denver.
I mean, Denver is not a great situation, but I legitimately don't have any idea who else they're going to throw to.
No, I mean, I don't either. So if he's healthy, they're going to have to do something, and he's going to be one getting the ball. And would you play Sterling Shepard and Will Fuller this week, even Sterling Shepard at Denver, over Amari
I knew I was
Cooper?
about to say the Amari Cooper, let's find out where he's at.
Yeah, right?
I mean, I have Amari Cooper ranked at 32.
Yep.
And I have them both ranked above him, and yes, I would.
I have him at 34.
I would. I think there's more upside, and I think Will Fuller is a yes, absolutely against Cleveland. I would rather take a shot at him, even one pass, and he can outscore Amari Cooper. Shepard, I could make an argument either way because of that'd be a game time decision.
And then I'm getting
that is a sigh from a man who doesn't know what to do.
There's a player I need to ask you about. Because I talk about him every week. Sammy Watkins.
Oh, I feel so good about me bad-mouthing him now. One game made me look bad, but I was spot on last week. And this week, no different. Number 40. He would not be in my starting rotation. I'm keeping him on the bench if I possibly can. Going against Jacksonville, which is a very good defense. And, Goff, exactly what I thought he was going to do. He's made huge jumps, but against good secondaries, he is going to struggle and struggle mightily. So I would definitely stay away from him. Please tell me, where is he?
Number 12.
Yeah, I was going to say. All right, we're done. I'm leaving.
He's 45th.
You actually have him ranked lower than I do. I'm love that.
I'm putting him in a spot where I don't even ever think about him again.
I have broken this man.
I need to see. I don't need to see. Okay, if Sammy Watkins comes out and has one great week, I don't care. I might move him up 2 spots from 45th to 43rd next week. I am done with Sammy Watkins. Because you know what? It wasn't even the fact that they're not looking for him. He didn't look good. And he gave up on plays. I can't remember exactly the situation, but I'm sure he beat Sherman on the play. And he just kind of gave up on it. And the ball just sails over. And he got no catches. He didn't look at, maybe the lack of targets is affecting him. And maybe that's what you see from him. You can't play like that though. He's just, he doesn't look like the player he should be. He did 2 weeks ago or whatever, 3 weeks, whatever that is now. And I know the talent's there, but maybe why did Buffalo trade a guy who's this good, apparently, a talented player like that? Why did Buffalo just decide to get rid of him? Maybe this is, again, sometimes I don't like to read into situations all the time, but maybe there was something with that. They didn't want to put their money into a guy like that, and not necessarily.
Maybe. I mean, I wouldn't go that far.
Don't try to read into it. Maybe there's something more, but I was disappointed this past week.
No.
I'm just. Ugh.
And once again, I mean, you've seen how many talented wide receivers. It doesn't matter if you can't give the quarterback enough time. If a guy's all over, there's a lot of reasons. But
the offense has been fine. They weren't great against Seattle, but they were okay. And Sammy Watkins he shouldn't have had 2 weeks like he did. The last 2 weeks had just been so brutal, and it's just I'm broken. I'm broken.
I mean, I don't want to say I told you so, but oh my god, I tell you so.
Oh,
but
man.
I mean, that's the thing. I mean, how much can you expect from you play? First of all, Dallas. That was a different story a little bit. He probably should have done a little better against them, but Seattle, now you hit Jacksonville, and then you hit Arizona. These were the 3 teams of death pretty much that I was talking about. Can you imagine him with Patrick Peters all over him? I mean, oh my God, it's going to be bad. Yeah. Jalen Ramsey, Sherman before that. Oh my, you're just getting the best talent.
We knew this too. We did know this. I tried to just.
These 4 weeks are going to be, one's a bye, but these 4 weeks, he's going to be useless. You just have to know that.
The thing that's different it feels like in the NFL today, we used to have one of these corners You know what I mean? Like there was a couple. It was like Revis or whoever.
Champ Bailey.
There's like one of these, maybe two of these guys.
Yeah.
And you really didn't worry about the cornerback matchup too much at all, especially with top receivers. But it is for some reason like right now there are a lot of good number one corners that are shutting down very good wide receivers these days.
And if you don't have a good quarterback behind you, it becomes very difficult because they start just. If I'm Goff, it's probably true. I'm probably just not even looking at him anymore because you're just waiting for that CB to bait you or do something to make you look stupid. So I think as a young quarterback, he just stops looking for him.
Yep. All right. Any other wide receivers interest you? Willie Snead. How'd you rank Willie Snead in his first game? I mean, I don't know what to do with him. I didn't know what to do with him. I wish he would have played 2 weeks ago. Because then we would have known a little bit more. But this is, again, I don't know what to do with him.
Yeah, I don't know what to do with him. I have him ranked at number 41, so right after Watkins.
I have him 38.
Yeah, I don't know what to do with him either.
I'd play him over Watkins this week. I'm playing Snead over Watkins.
That would be fine with me.
All right. One last business matter here for us in the wide receivers. It's Chris Hogan versus... That's what it is this week, Jeff.
I like it.
He's your number 5.
Who are you going to put him up against? Who did you have high up here?
Chris Hogan versus Julio Jones.
Oh, you son of a... All right, yeah, why not?
Screw it. Stick with your ranks,
Yeah,
Jeff.
I go with my ranks. I feel like I got to stop letting you pick these, by the way. But yeah, okay. Chris Hogan versus Julio Jones. Why not?
On the year, I have 3 victories to your 2.
Yep.
You didn't hurt my player last week. You picked Mike Evans, who was one of my player in our main team.
Oh my God! I wish I would have picked Beckham.
I
would have been the angel of death. It would have been 3 straight.
I thought I saw Evans limp off the field one play. Maybe he didn't, but in my mind, I'm sitting there watching the game like, no, you didn't do it again, Jeff. You didn't.
I know.
So if you hurt Chris
terrified.
Hogan, that's on you. It's just
I refuse to pick anyone on my team.
All right, tight ends. Here we go. Tight ends. Number 1 in. Going to be Rob Gronkowski. I think he's going to be healthy playing the Jets. I don't change my number 1s. I feel like it's always Rodgers, Bell, Brown, Gronk.
Yeah, and I agree with you. Kelsey, I thought about it, but with what happened to him last week,
if he doesn't play,
I shied away.
If he doesn't play, obviously we would knock him out the ranks here.
Yeah.
I hope he plays, but
my top 3 did not change
Gronk,
at all.
Kelsey, Ertz, it's going to be the same, right?
Yep.
And that's kind of how we're sticking to the ranks. I put Delaney Walker 4 this week. He's decently steady. He's going to have down weeks. It should be a good matchup, maybe, hopefully. But this is more if Mariota's playing. If Mariota's playing, I feel a lot more confident in him. If Mariota doesn't play, I might drop him a little bit. I don't know. Where are you putting Delaney?
I have my boy Delaney.
He's been pretty bad the last 3 weeks.
He has. I have a number 5, but it's such a bad matchup.
It's just
you look at him once again. After you get past number 3, you can make almost. I mean, you really could make a case for any of these guys after that. So I have Delaney Walker number 5. I still believe in him a lot more than I believe in these other guys. But number 4 is the one that I'm going on an ledge with, and that's Evan Ingram. Even after his really bad week.
Ain't going against Denver.
Yeah, but once again, there's no one.
He might be the benefit of all these injuries.
I think so. And he's shown himself to be capable.
I mean, there's 3 players out for the year now. Beckham, Marshall, and Dwayne Harris, who's not much of a factor anyway, but still another player.
Your number 1 and 2 go out. Yeah. I mean, and Sterling Shepard, we're still assuming he's playing, right? I mean, he was banged up himself, yeah.
Yeah, so Ingram should be, maybe it's not this week, but going forward, he should be the player who benefits from this. And he's talented enough he's obviously already a tight end wide receiver hybrid type thing anyway. They're going to play more wide receiver if they have to.
The way he's been playing too, he's been like a low end tight end one already.
It's so much easier to find another tight end to throw in there to block and do that kind of thing and just put Ingram on the outside and do that.
Yeah, and they'll have no choice anyway. So.
They have to. So he's your 4. Your 5 was Walker, you said?
Yep.
And my number 5 is Kyle Rudolph. He's been in this terrible season. He's doing something. He got a touchdown again last week. He's just, I don't know. He's a decent player, and these rest of these players are just not good. And so you play like a guy like him, who I think touchdowns might be there. He had, 3 bad weeks in a row, but that's what I guess he's so touchdown dependent.
Which one of these, like, name a guy that's not right now?
And then, so he's my 5th. And you didn't put him up there. Where'd you put him?
I'm sorry, what?
Rudolph. Where'd you put him?
Oh, I have him at number 8.
Okay. And then I put Brate 7. Cameron Brate.
Oh, I like that one.
Yeah. He's been looking pretty good. And Howard's not taking anything from him right now. That's for sure. Howard's not there at all. So Brate 7. Hunter Henry, number 8. He's scoring touchdowns. Let's keep him there. Number 9, Jordan Reed. Matchup's good. I don't have confidence in Jordan Reed right now. And then ugly, terrible number 10 is Jared Cook. I don't know why. It's so bad. Why did I put Jared Cook number 10? Talk me out of that one, Jeff. It's so bad. What's your top 10 looking like?
Number 6, I have Hunter Henry. Still riding the train. I like his upside with touchdowns. Is pretty much what it comes down to.
Before we get in, I just thought Jared Cook's out of my top 10. Austin Severian Jenkins is not number 10. Okay, move on.
Oh, awesome. And so I have Rudolph. I'm sorry. Cameron Brate. I actually have a number 7 as well. I like what I'm seeing out of him. Plus Arizona, I think they'll have to go to tight end a little more. Kyle Rudolph, number 8, like we said. Safarian Jenkins. I'm going off of pretty much one game, but he's going against New England, and their defense has struggled. Number 9. And then I'm with you, Jordan Reed. He should be so far up there, and I have no trust in him whatsoever.
None at all. And it's disappointing because he should be one of those guys that we just slot in at like number 3 every week and don't have to think about it. But he's constantly injured. The guy just can't stay healthy. And even when he's been on the field, it's not like he's been a difference maker.
No, and he hasn't. That's the crazy part. He's played in 3 games. He hasn't scored 1 touchdown yet. He hasn't broken 50 yards. It's not like he hasn't been. Okay. He's gotten 3 catches, 5 catches, 6 catches, and still.
At this point, have the injuries just taken too much of a toll on him? It's very possible.
They might have. I honestly can't. I don't really understand exactly what's happening to him. Makes no sense to me. But I think so. I just don't think he's right.
Then the rest of the tight ends are terrible, so I don't like talking about these guys. I put, let's see here, Martellus Bennett 11, Ed Dixon 12, Jared Cook 13. He already dropped 3 spots for me. Zach Miller 14 and Eric Ebron 15.
Yeah. I mean, sure. I literally don't care. Yeah,
any order because I hate them all. And you know what I really hate? Eric Ebron. This guy is just.
Well, every time I put him in like I have him at 12 right now because he should be so much better. And you look at everyone around him and you're like, God, everyone around him, is terrible too.
He's just not good. I mean, week 2, I think, where we started, here comes Ebron, 5 for 42 and a touchdown. Okay, take away week 2. In the other 4 games, this guy has 7 catches for, let's see here, 41 yards. 7 catches for 41 yards in 4 games other than the week 2 game. He's a bum. He's a bum. He's
a bum rocket.
I can't. It's just, I'm done with Eric Ebron. He's terrible. Tight ends are terrible. I'd rather play Njoku. I gotta say, maybe I'm moving Njoku up because I'd rather take a flyer and just, I'm doing it. This is on the spot tight end rankings. Njoku's my number 13.
Yeah, I don't mind that at all.
That's how terrible these rankings are. Going to move people in and out and don't even care about it. And Jeff, I think you have nobody you want to talk about here.
No, I mean, honestly, I don't have anyone that I feel that good about.
Kittle.
Yeah, right. I mean, really. I mean, George Kittle is number 18 for me.
He's number 18 for me as well.
Yeah, why not?
Right.
I think, I don't know. Take a flyer on Zach Miller, maybe. I mean,
Miller. Yeah, actually, Zach Miller. I do that. That's one I don't mind this week. He's actually, I'm doing literally on the spot tight end rankings. This is ridiculous. But he's 14 now. Jared Cook moved down to 15th already. He was 10th just like 30 seconds ago.
So yeah, I mean, I still get a little excited when I talk about like Austin Hooper, but he hasn't really done anything, so I can't move him up that much. Really, once you get past that point, I don't have anyone I feel really good about.
How about, here we go. Jump over to do you have some, let's look at some defenses real quick.
Sure.
Just because we didn't talk about defense as much. In the waivers, we usually just do a little streaming defense. But, hey, I'm talking about some defense. Denver's my number 1 going against the Giants. This is going to be ugly, I think.
Yeah, I think it's going to be bad. I think Eli's throwing a couple picks for sure. It's kind of turning into I'd be surprised if they don't score a defensive touchdown.
Right, at this point. Houston against Cleveland. It's another great matchup. Even without J.J. Watt and Whitney Merciless is out too, Cleveland's just not doing much right now. And it might be Kevin Hogan, might be Deshaun Kaiser, who knows. But, yeah. Then I put Baltimore at 3 going against Chicago. That might be too high, but it's still a rookie quarterback, so I like playing defenses against rookie quarterbacks usually, except I guess if it's Watson these days. Staying away from that. Do you see any streaming defenses that look this week, or is there just, it's been kind of, the streaming defenses this year have been, it's been hit or miss. I feel like there hasn't been a lot of great options, and they really haven't performed. Like, unless it's a top defense or one we think, there's been a lot of just, I don't know. It's been interesting to me.
Yeah, I'm trying to look at someone that's not really going to be owned. I mean, if people lost faith in New England, them going against the Jets, maybe. See, I don't feel good about that one, but I think it would be okay.
Well, we're already past the waivers, so I can just say this without my league listening and picking up my defense. The Redskins. I like the Redskins this week.
Yeah, going against San Fran. Why not?
Yeah. So maybe that's why we skipped it on Tuesday. Didn't want anybody to take my defense from me.
Yeah.
So Redskins, I like that. That's my favorite one of the week, actually. It's again, there's not the teams that are playing the good matchups are already owned. So
yeah, and Tennessee versus Indianapolis.
It always could be. And with Indy, it's weird though because they could blow up, and they're going to this week with Marlon Mack.
Yeah, I mean,
right? 100 and a touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, maybe.
You should have done a Marlon Mack bet. Marlon Mack versus Kareem Hunt.
Yeah.
But no, it's just, that could be a decent one. Maybe the Patriots. They've been dropped, and they haven't been good, but they're going against the Jets, and I still think the Jets are terrible.
Yeah, so they're awful. I
don't know if I feel comfortable with the Patriots. Normally, you would feel great about it, but yeah.
How do you feel about Kansas City has been very good, but they're going against Pittsburgh. Are you thinking, like last week, you get 5 picks off Roethlisberger, you can't go wrong, but is this a bounce back for Pitt a little bit?
Whatever I say right here will be the opposite. I don't see it. I think it's going to be tough for them at Kansas City. Kansas City's playing so well. Roethlisberger isn't. I'm starting Kansas City with some confidence, which is weird because you're starting a defense against Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown and feeling good about it. Maybe I don't feel good about it, but I think I still play them. I'm still going to make the start, and yeah, I'm going to do that. The other one that could be an interesting play is the Chargers against Oakland with if EJ Manuel is still the quarterback out there. That could be an interesting play. Chargers you wouldn't consider them a great defense, but they haven't been terrible. That this is what they've done in the years 7-2-4-0-9. It's not great, but you're not seeing negative. And Oakland hasn't been. Oakland with Manuel is not very good. And Oakland in general, I mean, Marshawn Lynch isn't very good. Amari Cooper's terrible, I guess, at this point. So that could be a decent one. Any others? Or is that about it?
Yeah, I think that is about it for me. I'm looking at the rest of them, and they're pretty straightforward after that. No one jumps out.
All right, we'll be back with recap tomorrow. Jeff will be back for one more episode.
One more.
And then Jeff's going away for a little bit here.
Yeah, so you might get a guest appearance from another co-host. We'll have to find out who's going to join Craig for a couple of weeks, as I am going to London.
Yeah, and he's leaving middle of the season. I don't know, do some solo episodes all by myself.
I'm doing okay with my teams. I'm in position for the playoff run in nearly everyone. So I'll be on my phone diligently, making sure that I don't drop anything.
All right, but we'll have one more game to talk about before we leave. It'll be Eagles Panthers. We'll talk about that. See how Wentz looks. Newton, see if he can continue the run of these last few weeks, and interested to see what Funchess does as well. And basically, there's some interesting plays there. Hopefully, it's a little more exciting game than last week's Thursday night was. But we will talk to you guys tomorrow.